Actually live. Welcome to the Camillio podcast. I am Camillio, and I'm here with my crystal dealer. um,
Totally.
as you all know, folks, I am addicted to crystals as of late, and here's one of my dealers. So I figured I would bring Felicia from Chakra.Gem.Jewels over. Um, so give
Thank
us a brief intro of yourself and your gem business.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Camille. And I must say it's been a such a privilege having you as a crystal client. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, Chakra Gem Jewels was born through the pandemic, like so many individuals, right? Who, I'm a self-employed HR consultant, and I've always that's my full-time gig, and I've always loved crystals since I was a young girl. And my HR consulting business sort of like really plateaued, if not took a slight decline during the beginning of the pandemic.
Hmm.
And so I decided I would channel my love for beading initially. So gemstone bead bracelets initially channeled that by creating gemstone bead bracelets. And that sort of led me down this rabbit hole of like, well, wow, I'm already collecting crystals. Maybe there's some opportunity to also sell crystals. And so, um, how that, transpired, maybe we can get into later, but ultimately, Chakra Gem Jewels is a crystal business. And my mission is to curate crystals and connect crystals to beautiful people like yourself, beautiful souls who can benefit from crystals enhancing and protecting your divine energy. And yeah, that's the high level overview.
Wow. That's wonderful. I think it's funny too that I pretty much got into Twitch and streaming during the same time.
So
Uh,
cool.
yeah.
Interesting how that happens, right? Like some of the best some of the best ventures in our life come out of like unique and challenging times, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, let me ask, how did you stumble upon crystals in general? Like, did you always have a thing for making beads, or how did that start?
Yeah. When I was like when I was probably 6 or 7 years old, I was going out west to Montana and Colorado and um like Utah, right out west. And my parents would take me on these family trips. And oftentimes we would stop in these like prospector shops where they were kind of like souvenir shops, and they would have these, they still have them to this day, these tall kiosks that you can turn, right? And when you turn them, there would be like these compartments with tumbled stones in them.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents would say, when I was like a kid, they would say, here's $1 or $2, that's your allowance. Go get yourself like a treat, or like a gift, a
How
souvenir.
cute.
Right. And so I would always be so fascinated with stones. And initially I think it was just like something to hold in my hand and help me feel more present, right? But
Hmm.
I at a young age I wasn't necessarily able to make the connection between what I was feeling in holding a stone. But now I know I'm even holding a stone right now, like I'm more mindful, right? And I'm more present. Um, and so that's really how my love for stones began. But it wasn't until much later in life, in my 20s, that I had like a major life event and a health challenge that I stumbled into after a really nasty breakup. And it was really difficult, Camille. Very,
Oh
very
my
hard.
gosh.
Yeah, like one of those like heart-wrenching, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go on in life type thing type things. And there
Wow.
was a lot of pain and trauma from that experience, Camille. I was probably like 22 or 23 at the time. And um And anyway, some later, like 6, 9 months after this breakup, I was starting to incur some really bad health issues, including but not limited to some migraine headaches, digestive issues, and just overall lacking joy in life.
Hmm.
And I went to several doctors to address the migraines, to address the digestive issues, and I couldn't get really a significant diagnosis. And finally, I found a metaphysical healer, or like not a homeopath, a naturopath doctor. And she turned me on to things like acupuncture and sound vibrational healing, breath work, and so forth. And that led me to color healing, chakra healing, which ultimately led me to stones that correlate with chakras.
Hmm.
And ultimately, Camille, I found that certain stones, certain essential oils, certain frequencies align to different energy centers in our body. We refer to those as chakras. And when working with various stones and focusing and visualizing here in our third eye through breath work and working with these stones, over time, I realized I was starting to heal some of those energy centers. And in healing those energy centers, some of my physical symptoms started to dissipate. And so that was really the beginning of my belief system around the power of the metaphysics,
Hmm.
right? Um,
So
oh,
for you, you would say that it actually helped you physically. Because what would you say about people who don't believe in their benefits quite yet? Like someone who's
yeah.
just getting into crystals, who's like me. I still say I'm starting getting like deeper into the world of crystals. So I have a lot to learn. And I would say I had the same experience you, where I was in that phase of my life where I was looking for something, not doctor intervention like drugs and all that stuff, but something more metaphysical, more inward, more spiritual, instead of
Mhm.
going towards the doctor intervention route.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's interesting, Camille, because, I think 15 years ago, if somebody would have said, you should really consider crystal healing or Reiki healing, I would have been like, go take a flying leap. Like,
You're
you're
weird.
you're weird,
It's
you're
all a bunch of woo woo, like people would
right.
say.
Exactly, precisely. And what I would say to individuals who are either non-believers or just really skeptical is, I honor that skepticism, and I was in a very comparable state at one point. And what I will say in truth is that a rock, a stone, a crystal cannot heal you. And that is the truth. What can heal you is working with the earth's resources that contain these stones. They contain a different vibration and frequency based on their metaphysical structure. And that frequency connects to these different portals in our body. And when there is a connection, it creates a harmony. And there is more science behind it. And at some point, I would like to document some of that, and
Yeah.
maybe follow-up call and talk more about that, because I'm still learning about the science between that harmony and frequency and how it connects in our body. Um, but each crystal has a crystalline structure, and that crystalline structure resonates with a different vibration or portal
Hmm.
chakra in our body. And when they connect, the harmony is created. And when there is disharmony in our body, we are looking for harmony. And thus, crystals can help bring harmony. Just like when people listen to certain frequency meditations, right? Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
right, that helps create harmony and disharmony. And so that's an element of it.
Yeah. I guess you could say, if you want to back up with science, there's those studies of wavelengths and all of that, and I think they are correlated with that. Wavelengths,
Yeah.
energies, frequencies, they're all
Yes,
interconnected. So
very much. And another element that I didn't mention, as I actually it came to me as I was looking at the background in your
oh.
on your screen right now, is that um there is sacred geometry, right? All around us, right? So and I'm not an expert in sacred geometry, but
Hmm.
typically every natural living thing on our planet has some type of sacred geometry to it. And that sacred geometry also has a connection to various crystalline structures. So some crystals have a cubic crystalline structure,
Hmm.
whereas some crystals have a trigonic crystalline structure. And again, the trigonic crystalline structure may resonate with our solar plexus chakra, whereas a cubic resonates with the heart chakra. And we get back to that harmony when we are working with those stones, doing breath work, breathing in, um, using creative visualization, and releasing what no longer serves us.
Wow, that's so insightful. So I see where you got your name for your business, Chakra.Gem.Jewels. We have a viewer that says, "I had no idea there was such a thing as a crystal dealer." Yes,
Totally.
I am speaking with one right now.
I sometimes say that I slang when people are like, "Oh, you like have a side hustle? What do you do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I slang rocks." And they're like,
Oh.
"Oh, like I think they're like, well, what kind of rocks? Like rock, like
Like these kind of rocks, okay? Like crystal.
like these kind of rocks, right?" And so I have to be careful sometimes when I say that.
But it is ear catching for sure. Like it would definitely start a conversation.
Absolutely, total conversation starter. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was one of the first crystals you obtained, and
Mm.
what drew you to it? I guess you would say. I mean, you got one when you were 6, right?
Yeah, I don't, in truth, Camila, that's such a great question. In truth, I don't remember, like, I don't remember the first stone that I got as a young girl.
As an adult, so when you were more conscious of your selection.
Totally. I think as an adult, one of my first stones would have been a rose quartz piece, and it's not this exact one, but I'll just show it. It was like a rose quartz tower, like this. It's not this,
Ooh.
but yeah, pretty, right?
See, this is
And
why I get so like enamored with random.
girl, I'm telling you, it's so even for us retailers, it's really hard too. We just like, oh, I just want to buy everything. I just want to like have one of these.
Keep it for my
Yeah,
collection if no one claims it.
totally, totally. Um, but yeah, I was needing, right, a lot of love in my life at that time, and lacking self-love and compassion for myself, was very hard on myself, and started began to do some research and realized that rose quartz, was one of about 5 stones that um crystal gurus recommended or recommend for crystal newbies, and rose quartz was really high on that list. And so I adopted rose quartz. And I don't know that there's a stone more like dynamic in its properties of love that is um teaches isn't the right word, but facilitates unconditional love, right? So love without attachment,
Mm-hmm.
right? Love without a condition attached to it. And I think rose quartz is a really great stone for working to work with, because this is a very general statement, Camille, but in general, many many people, we create expectations of other people,
Right.
um, of those
I
in our
feel
life.
like we project what we
Yes.
want on other people. And I mean, l- all aside, like I feel like my previous friendship taught me that
Mm,
I wanted to treat that person the way I wanted her to treat me the way I wanted, vice versa. And when I
yeah,
didn't receive that, I guess that's what it is. We're always projecting what we want and our
yes,
perspective through our lens. And I see now, like,
well
that's
said.
that's what rose quartz does. Like it puts you back towards yourself in a
Yes,
way, so you
that is
have more unconditional love and all that.
that's such a great that is such a great example. And I'll share another example to piggyback off what you just shared, right? So um I shared this example one time in like an Instagram story, which was um I had this friend who lives in Colorado, and we were really close for a long time. And this is a minor hang up in a friendship, certainly nothing to like make or break the friendship. um and growing up, birthdays were a really big deal in my family. So my mom always made a really big point of making us feel special on our
Yeah.
birthdays. And similarly, when her birthday or my dad's birthday would come around, you know, ensuring that they had a wonderful day was really important. And it wasn't so much about gifts and parties and treats, but just spending time together and
Hmm.
ensuring that our family knew that they were loved and valued and appreciated, and like celebrating their accomplishments and milestones the previous year, right? And and so that always was really, that was a value that I carried with me, and also in my friendship. So when my friend's birthday would come around, my best friend, I would call her, I would send her a card, maybe send her a gift card, maybe some flowers, and though we were states away, wanted her to know that she is and was loved very much.
Hmm.
And and when my birthday would come around, I would get a text message if I was lucky, right? And that started to like form this over time. And I didn't want to have an expectation of her. I really didn't want
Yeah.
to, but I found myself creating these expectations. And and so in working with stones like rose quartz or maybe kunzite or a couple other very love centered and healthy boundary stones, am able to examine the why behind, why am I creating these expectations, and are they reasonable,
Right.
and how might I have this conversation with my friend, right? But but doing some self-examination. And I think rose quartz is a good stone for that also. So
Hmm. I guess that's what helped me stones wise, through meditation. And I would hear about meditation every now and then, but when I started incorporating stones, it
yeah.
started it started taking it to a whole nother level.
Oh my gosh, yes. Can you tell me, if it's okay, if I can ask you a
Mhm.
question? Okay, tell me like what are some of the differences that you've experienced in your previous meditations without stones, and as you're beginning to incorporate stones, what does that look like? What is that bringing up for you?
Depending on the stone, I feel like for me, I get vivid images
Ah, yeah.
where they would just pop out of nowhere. Like they would just be more frequent versus when I would try meditating by myself before my crystal journey. I would feel like, okay, what am I thinking about? Okay, what am I thinking about next?
Right,
Kind of
right.
thing. Or stop thinking. You're thinking too much, Camille. You know.
I totally do that when I meditate too, especially for like the first 10 or 15 minutes. It's just trying to quiet my mind. That's like
Hmm.
first 15 minutes, right? But it's so interesting you mentioned the images because um I get a little bit of that too, a little bit. It sounds like you may have some clairvoyant capabilities and gifts there, Camille.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I don't know. I do have it. Like your citrine, the one that
Yeah.
I got from you, is one of
Oh,
my favorites. I like
that
to
is a
meditate with it.
beautiful piece.
And I swear, like, it gives me like the most vivid
Yeah.
images when I'm just like in the
Yeah.
same zone.
Being in the zone. Have you ever, just out of curiosity, and I'm not necessarily like encouraging this, but have you ever slept with that stone on your bedside or under your pillow?
Yeah. I like to have a little nightstand of random crystals depending how I
Yeah,
feel.
I love it. That
Yeah.
is cool. And do they influence your dreams at all?
Um, I feel like I've always had vivid dreams, but
Okay,
I feel like now it's more like locational. Sorry.
that's okay. Well, that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So aside from rose quartz, what are some top three crystals that are on your list? I know it's hard for you for, being a crystal dealer and everything, but if you had maybe let's be generous, let's say top five.
Five.
Top
Are these
five.
top five I really want, or top five I like recommend to others, or top five that I can't live without?
Let's say
I know I
recommend for others, especially
okay,
for
got it.
newbies who have
Newbies.
no idea what they're getting into.
Okay. Yeah, I would say okay, so I thought you might ask this question. So I actually I brought a couple with
Oh,
to kind of like share what I think are, good crystals to start with. So for for sure rose quartz. Okay. Rose quartz is a really great stone to well, all of the things that we just discussed, right? But it's a great stone of self-love, self-care, compassion. Um, it's a very nurturing stone. It has a very soft vibration. It's not gonna hit you over the head and enlist immediate insane change in your life, but it will softly encourage you to examine your own thoughts, feelings, and emotions and heighten your self awareness in a very positive way. So, that is certainly a stone I would recommend. The next, of course, is amethyst. And I brought a couple pieces of amethyst to share. Here we have an amethyst tower. And this is a smoky amethyst tower. It's kind of hard to see in the light, but
it's still a beaut.
what's that?
It's still a beaut.
It's still a beaut, absolutely. It's a beaut. And I have lots of different sizes of these. This I adopted from another shop. This is a amethyst, like it's kind of a unique piece, Camille. I wish I could find these for my shop, but it's like a polished free form.
Freeform, palm stone kind of
Yeah,
thing.
totally. So amethyst is Amethyst is a stone that resonates with our third eye chakra, which is right in this area. We hear a lot about the third eye, but what is it? Really, it helps connect our solar plexus, which is our creative intuitive center, with our pineal gland. Okay. And it helps us do things like see images, right,
Mhm.
when we're meditating and um develop our sixth sense. We're all born with psychic clairvoyant abilities. It's like a muscle that needs to be flexed. And the way that that muscle gets flexed is through meditation, right? And doing exercises. But when you do those exercises, working with amethyst can really amplify those abilities. Amethyst is also a really great stone for pain if you get headaches. It's also the stone for sobriety. So
Oh.
for those who are early in recovery, for those who think they may have a problem with alcohol, or they may be chemically dependent, or just have bad habits, compulsory habits. May it be porn addiction, may it be smoking, whatever. Amethyst is the stone for compulsory behaviors and habits.
So anything addiction wise, like getting over bad addictions,
Yes.
negative.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I don't talk a lot about this on my page, but I'm in recovery actually. I've been sober for 7 years, and
Congrats.
thank you. I was a very heavy Oxycontin user for many, many years, and um, yeah, it was had some very bad years in there for a while, and after realizing that I was close to losing my job and maybe my family and my home, I checked myself into treatment, and it's a long story, but um, I can tell you that crystals are another thing that have really helped me on my recovery journey in terms of self-awareness and self-love, and also really important, setting boundaries.
Hmm.
Um, so in any event, I can attest to Amethyst's really amazing properties. So that's number two. Number three, no surprise, will be clear quartz. Clear quartz is known as the master healer. It's an amplifier and magnifier. So when we work with clear quartz, it is going to amplify, and here we have a tower
Hmm.
and free form. Um, but when we are working with, let's say, our amethyst stone, maybe we're working with amethyst in our left hand, we have clear quartz in our right hand. The clear quartz is going to help amplify and magnify what we're doing with our amethyst and or any other stone. And clear quartz is also exceptional for removing blockages and dissipating negative energy density or what no longer serves us.
Wow.
So that's number three.
Hello, Ninja. Crystals sparkle, sparkle. Do you have any questions for us while you're here?
Yeah, any questions? I
Yeah.
don't know.
They're just hanging out. So I think
Well,
we have some few viewers just hanging out, listening to your captivating list. Okay, so aside from quartz, clear quartz, what
so
is?
we got rose quartz, we got clear quartz, we got amethyst. The next one I like to talk about is one of your favorites, which is citrine. And citrine, I recommend. It's a little bit more of a pricey stone for a newbie, but the good news is there are pieces of citrine that are affordable. This is not one of them in my hand, but there are certainly ones available. Citrine is the master manifestation stone. What does that mean? It basically means if you work with citrine and you work with the law of attraction and or magnetism or manifestation or all the above, there's a pretty good chance you're going to manifest what you want into your life and what you desire if you claim it. So
Wow,
I'm a
it's my
huge,
favorite too.
yeah,
Citrine.
it's an insanely dynamic, multi-dimensional stone. And I I have to admit, like when I would hear people talk about citrine and its powerful manifestation abilities, I would sort of in my mind roll my eyes like, yeah, right, okay. And then I did this lucky number 7 ritual, which I probably won't get into right now, but it is on my page. It's a ritual that uses citrine and a few other stones, and the results were stupid, like mind-blowing stupid. The abundance that began to flow into my life when I leveraged this ritual called lucky number 7 ritual that uses this crystal and a couple others. It was just, Camille, it was mind-blowing to me.
How many raid carries for a free crystal? Well, think about it. We have a selection now, Ninja. We have a selection.
What was the question?
Oh, it's video game related. How many raid carries for a free crystal? Well, I
Okay.
have different colored crystals, Ninja. So we'll we'll think about it, but maybe I'll accumulate enough to be generous and get one for free.
Or I could like we could think about like a discount code situation too. That might be an option too.
Oh,
Like a promo opportunity or something. I don't know. Just get creative.
yeah.
Here's
It'll
a
be in the
couple.
works.
Yeah, that'll be in the works, totally. Here's a couple other pieces of citrine just to like show. Here's a really gemmy piece of citrine that's a bit smaller. And then here's these, I do have some of these citrine. These are Congolese. They're from the Congo.
Hmm.
They are ethically sourced, which is hard to find in Africa. These are really affordable actually. So anyway, there's different types of citrine. And then the last crystal in terms of like top five, I would say Smoky Quartz because it's very grounding. Let me grab a piece really quick.
Ooh, we
Um,
got a fan. You like one? You like the see-through one?
like the really gemmy one.
Oh my gosh, Ninja, we're gonna get you addicted.
No. And I gotta tell you, Ninja, I'm just gonna be honest, the rabbit hole goes real quick. So just like you gotta be careful because
Look at this, Ninja. You're gonna start being wacky like me and accumulating like
it's
all.
a gorgeous cluster. Oh my
It's.
gosh.
I got well here since I live in Denver. They always do the Denver Gem Show, which is a pretty big gem show. I just went ham this year.
Did you
just
really?
just
Oh my God. I've been really wanting to go to the Denver Gem Show. What was that like?
oh, it's it's huge.
Is
It's
it huge?
there's so many. It's a I can't explain how you could get lost there, and
Is it
they
overwhelming?
it is a little overwhelming because there's so many options, so many
Right.
deals.
Oh, okay.
And they have a couple selections of food trucks there, which made you stay there even longer. So you could pretty much do like an all day thing.
Oh yeah.
They have an outside section and they have two stories. So, and then it's a coliseum. So it's
Yeah.
ginormous.
Okay. Okay. I've really been wanting to go to the Denver Gem Show, and I have a goal to go to the Tucson Gem Show, which is mm, in retail world, it's coming up pretty quickly. It's in February,
Oh.
and if I can sell like 25 to 30% of my existing inventory, which is a lot, I think Edward, my significant other, and I we're gonna try to go because I think it would be good. I'd really like to do that to not only experience it but also to source, just some more unique material for
Mm-hmm.
my clients and provide some unique unique items that can't be found other places. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's a good opportunity for a vendor like yourself to purchase from other wholesalers right at the source. So
Yes.
it was fun to see that. I saw people bringing out pallets, like buying whole pallets for themselves.
Oh, totally. It's mind-blowing. Like I remember asking a gal last year when I was just kind of starting my crystal retail journey. And there's a gal I follow on Instagram, and she does a lot of her lives through Facebook, but her handle is the Juju Nurse. Really nice gal. I'm spacing on her first name, but I'll think of it in just a second. But I asked her, I was like, what is the gem show, the Tucson Gem Show like? And she was like, you have to go with a plan and you have to go with a budget because she's like, you will literally, a person can literally go broke, like just
Hmm.
in a matter of
Okay.
like minutes. So anyway, it's on my list for sure.
And it's free. Like it's free admission unless I'm not sure if they have different restrictions for vendors or people who have booths there, but if you're just a random person like me off the street, it's free. You could just go shop till you drop, basically. Or just admire, just nerd out with other crystal lovers.
Was there anything that you saw at the gem show in Denver that you really wanted that you couldn't do, that you were like, oh, I wish I could get that, but you could, like, you were just like, yeah, I can't justify it?
Um, for me, it's the big statues, like the big, ginormous crystal veins, like big amethyst,
Yeah,
everything, like those ginormous veins that they have out in display.
I know. I know what you mean.
I mean, I wouldn't want to buy it, but they're just captivating to me. Those large masterpieces, like this came out of the earth,
Like you
kind
could
of.
like literally stand in one or the ones
Hmm.
you can just sit in and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. And that's just it, Camille. Like I can't believe our earth generates these beautiful specimens.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what drew me towards them, just because there's just so many selections, and I just like to sit back and admire, not only have them as a decorative piece, but like just look at them. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, can you like I have like a whole selection here too myself. Like I got my celestite crystal right
Oh,
here. I don't know if
so
you can see it.
yeah, I can see it.
Celestite.
Yep, beautiful.
I my favorite combo right now is my little pyrite. I love pyrite. Pyrite's one of my favorites. Pyrite. That's
Love
like
pie.
that's in my top three. Pyrite and then malachite. Just because I love the vibrant green
Oh, so
and the
beautiful.
patterns. Oh, this is the one you gave me too.
Yeah,
So
I
chat
love
if you are interested in getting a crystal from Chakra.Gem.Jewels.
yeah.
Let us know. She is a
Yeah.
wonderful crystal, my wonderful crystal dealer.
In fact, you know what? For anybody who wants one, anyone who's in the chat right now who's interested, let's just throw out a 10% off coupon code for them. Um, we'll say Camillio 10 will be their code if they want to use it within the next 30 days.
Yes, chat. Thank you so much, Felicia.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Thanks for
it's
having
been a
me.
pleasure having you here and just admiring crystals with you and my chat and
I can
um
always talk about crystals, so like yeah, anytime, anytime.
yeah. And it doesn't have to be weird, guys. It's just like, this is cool. Look at this tower with pyrite in it. Sometimes they come out in shapes like carvings. Like I have an owl right here. The I've even
Where
seen Pokemon carvings.
is the owl from uh Nicoya?
Oh no, they're from this one was from Loving Thyself. Loving
Oh,
Thyself rocks.
I love Loving Myself Rex. I've adopted from them like multiple times.
Yeah,
Love.
and they opened a store in Florida, so
They did?
mhm.
Oh, good for them. That's amazing.
Camillio 10, awesome chat. So I hope you partake. You could find Felicia on Chakra Gem Jewels. Your handle is Chakra Gem Jewels on Instagram.
Yep,
Is that your main
that's
your
my main account. Yeah, so my main crystal account is Chakra.Gem.Jewels. And yeah, that's my crystal account. And um I also do some like car stuff. Um, that's Audi related, but that's totally different, totally different hobby, but that's audigirl.official if you want to check that out.
a website link? Let me throw it out in the website link chat really quick. Let me find it. I think
Cool.
I saved it somewhere. Wow, we got a bunch of newbies. Okay, what else can you say about crystals that well, what would you suggest for someone who's new starting out aside from like well, maybe coming from the do's and don'ts, like because it's
Yeah.
so easy to get overwhelmed and like
Oh,
go on a shopping spree, and then there's all these things on the internet like telling you like you should put your crystal in water, blah blah blah, and all that stuff.
yeah. You know, that's such a good question, Camille, in terms of like do's and don'ts, right? So, like, I'll just start out with three. I mean, I could go on and on, but just to keep it contained, let's say like three things I would recommend to individuals who are like, I'm curious, I'm interested, I might want to get some crystals. My my biggest recommendation would be like build a relationship with someone you trust. Someone who when you have questions about crystals, you can go to them and they're sharing information based on their experience with you, right? Um there are a lot of crystal shops out there and most of them are good. They're great. However, there are some crystal shops who will literally sell you a piece of what they call as citrine when really it is heat treated quartz or heat treated
Yeah.
amethyst. And so, you know, like that was a mistake I made really early on was buying a piece of heat treated citrine and it was really expensive and someone took advantage of
Yeah,
me,
it's
right?
so easy to get scammed.
It
Some
is.
people could be selling you plastic, you know? It could look like a crystal.
No, it is actually I've been early on in my crystal journey. I was sold a like a glass crystal. Like someone told me it was smoky, a beautiful piece of smoky quartz, and it looked really beautiful and it looked legitimate, but I received it and it broke. And the way it broke, we did a couple tests on it and realized it was most certainly not quartz crystal, it was glass. And so you know just building a relationship with someone you trust or a couple retailers, whether that's through Etsy is a great place to find crystals too, although you can't, depending on the video footage it can be hard. But before I became a retailer, I adapted all of my crystals on Etsy, most because here in Minnesota, we don't really have crystal shops. We have
Yeah.
one or two, but um, Etsy is a great place or Instagram, and you can, there's so many great retailers even outside of my shop um, to foment relationships with. The other do I would say is, do your own research too, right? Like if you are, let's say you're wanting to manifest. You're in a place in your life where um, you want to manifest skills to learn how to day trade, and you're looking for motivation around how to day trade, and you need a mentor in day trading. There's a crystal for that, believe it or not. There's a series of crystals you can use, with manifestation techniques, right? Now, is a crystal alone going to bring you a mentor for to learn day trading? Probably not, but when you use it in conjunction with creative visualization, meditation, and manifestation, yeah, and affirmations, it's going to work. So, having the information, doing your research, and in combination with having a relationship with someone who can help you guide you through that, I think is really important. And a big don't, I would say, is oh, another do is have a budget, right?
Yes.
Like it's
Yes.
easy to just like it's so easy to fritter your money away on like, oh, like a $20 crystal here, a $30 crystal here, like a $10 crystal here. But what you really want is that $200 really big piece, right? Like my biggest piece of advice for people is like when you're starting out, it's one thing, but as you get down further along your journey, depending on your goals associated with crystals, like my biggest piece of advice is to save up for the pieces that you want rather than to like fritter your money away on. And this is just personal, right?
Hmm.
Like this is something I wish I would have done. Everybody's different, but I wish I would have. In my personal collection, I have drawers upon drawers of like palm stones and tumbles, and that's great. Those are great pieces. I can pop them in my pocket, my purse, my bra, whatever. But I do wish I would have saved more money for the investment pieces that I wanted. Those are
And
some,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, and that's what you have in your store, chat. That's what she has in her store. So if you're interested in some of her quality investment pieces, hit Felicia up. because I'm working towards it. I know I have many pieces from her, but the quality from her shop is great. And not only that, she's really great one on one if you wanna work with her.
Yeah, and there's
So
no pressure. There's no pressure either. This is like a, you know, I don't know. There's nothing, I don't want to say nothing worse, but when I go shopping, I don't like to be rushed and
yeah,
I don't like to feel like someone has an expectation of me. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever
yeah,
like
I
in
totally get that.
a store and you feel pressure and it's like, okay, I get it. You're on commission, you want to sell something, you leave me alone. Like I never want any of my clients to feel that way.
Awesome. I totally. That's why I appreciate having you as my crystal dealer.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's never any expectation of you or anyone else. Uh-uh. And although I do have investment pieces, I'll show an example of an investment piece. This would be an
Oh,
investment piece.
okay. Like if I don't know, how can you not be captivated by this? Okay. I don't know. I maybe I'm weird, chat. Okay, don't judge me, but I think it's so cool to just have it like in your house as decoration.
Good vibes.
The vibes,
Good
the
vibes. Like
aesthetics.
people definitely, and the individuals or clients, Camille, who do adopt crystals that are, the investment pieces, usually it is for decor, right? Um, Most people aren't going to pick this up and like start meditating with it, right?
Hmm.
Because it's just like, I mean, they might, um, but that would be an example of an investment piece. However, I've got, I have lots of crystals too for 20 bucks, 30 bucks. So it's all across the board. So
So, what is one thing that you would like to leave us here for our chat? Aside from your socials, any message that you would like to leave for a chat? Good, bad?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like like anything for people to like noodle on or
yeah.
like okay,
Little nuggets of
yeah, little nuggets. Well, first of all, like thanks for just letting me
yeah.
talk
Thank you
about
for
Chris.
coming to our podcast with my little community here.
I love it.
You showed us your world of gems, which gems and crystals, which
Yeah,
is beautiful. I wish I could show you chat like my little spread I got here going on.
they're so fun. It's so interesting. I never imagined that I would find a hobby in rock. I mean, they're more than rocks, but like I never thought I would find such joy in these beautiful earth gifts, right? I think in terms of like leaving our chat with a nugget of information is um being open being open-minded to concepts that we may not normally be open to, right? So whether it's like alternative forms of medicine like Reiki or acupuncture or breath work, um,
Or
or,
crystal healing.
or crystal healing, right? Or shadow work. These are all part of what are called like the esoteric like arts that really were a very fundamental and integral part of society um, in many years past. And I think a lot of it has been lost, but it's kind of starting to come back. And um, I think our earth, from what I've done in my research, our earth offers so much goodness in plants, like medicinal plants and medicinal crystalline structures. We have we have This stuff helps airplanes fly. It helps watches tick.
It's in
It
our
helps,
electronics. Hello,
you know,
guys.
so like when we really think about it from an objective perspective, right, there's a lot more to it than a shiny object.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of what I would leave to noodle on.
Well, thank you so much, Felicia. Chat thanks you.
Thank
I'm pretty sure
you.
they enjoyed having you here as our guest today.
I'm grateful. I'm so grateful to be your guest, and thank you for listening to my ongoings of crystals.
No, it was wonderful. We had fun here.
I sure do. Thank you.
All right, chat. We'll say goodbye to Felicia. Other than that, follow her. I linked her Instagram at Chakra.Gem.Jewels. So let me link it again for you if you want to check her page out.
Thank you so much.
Um, all right, chat. We'll see you another time. Maybe we'll have her back on with a crystal update. Who knows?
Cool. Bye, chat. Thank you.
Bye.